Good morning. Welcome to Friday morning yoga stretch. This morning we're going to focus on just some really good stretches overall, especially for the lower back. If anybody has any sciatic issues or pain that shoots from that lower back going down the legs, also any sciatic issues, we're going to work on some good stretches for loosening up those areas today. They seem to be a problem for a lot of people, and it can be a long process of once you have a nerve pinched, it can take a long time to get that worked out. So we're going to try to help it along by relaxing the muscles and elongating the muscles all around the lower back and hips and legs. Right, so let's begin in a simple cross-legged pose. And let's just take a moment to focus on using this time to relax, to work out any physical tension that we're having. And let's not worry about what we have to do the rest of the day or this coming weekend. Let's just take a few moments, relax the shoulders, roll them back a couple times. Try and keep that back nice and straight with the sitting bones firmly planted. Let's take one more nice deep breath here, really grounding yourself. And then let's go ahead and just walk those hands out in front. And just try to keep the sitting bones on the floor when you do these. Doesn't matter how far the hands go. If you want to come down onto the elbows and forearms, you certainly can. And then let's just walk those hands over to the left side. And then come back to center. And then over to that right side. And one more time back to center. Nice deep breath with a deep stretch here. And then exhale, slowly come back up. And let's bring those arms overhead. Point the fingers up towards the ceiling. And release. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale down. Let's take a nice deep breath in. Take that left wrist in the right hand and stretch to the right side. Back to center. Release. Inhale, arms up. Right wrist in the left hand. Nice stretch to the left side. Back to center, release those arms. Let's go ahead and extend the feet out. And let's just rock down over our legs. Just come to where you can feel a really nice stretch for that lower back and the backs of the legs. If you start to feel any pain or tension behind the knees, you can bend the knees a little bit. And just try to keep those feet pointed towards the ceiling. and slowly come back up. Let's bend that left leg down, keep that right leg extended, and come down over just that right leg. And then come back up. And let's do the same thing with the other side. Left leg out in front, right leg bends down, come down over that left leg. And then come back up. And let's bring the feet together and just hold on to the outside of the ankles. And just try to open up the chest, keep those shoulders rolled back, and just try to keep pressing down with the legs towards the ground. Sometimes it helps if you work with your breath. So on each exhale, try to lower the legs a little bit more. And then just bring your hands to the toes and just bend slightly with the elbows. Get a good stretch for those inner legs. And then slowly come back up. We're going to extend that left leg out, cross that right leg over the left, or you can leave the foot right on the inside. Take that left elbow to the right knee, right hand behind. Gently press that right leg into your left arm. And you can either look over your shoulder or just look neutral. And then come back to center and just let that right leg fall open. And we're just going to come down over that left leg. And then come back up. Extend that right leg out. Same thing on the left side here. If you can, cross that left leg over. Otherwise, keep it on the inside. Right elbow to that left knee, left hand behind. Gentle pressing of that left leg into that right arm. And then come back to center. Keep that left leg crossed over the right and just walk yourself down over that right leg. And slowly come back to center. And we're going to come up into a squat on the toes and give our backs a nice little release here. If you're comfortable keeping the hands up on the legs, go for it. If you feel a little bit unsteady or that you have any pulling in that back, just bring the hands to the floor. Let's just take some deep breaths here. Let's bring those hands down. Slowly come up into a forward bend, just letting the top of the body relax. And then slowly come all the way up into mountain pose. Groundless feet. Let's bring the arms up. And exhale, release. One more time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, release. And let's just do some shoulder rolls. We're going to go back first and just do about 5 or 6 of them at your own pace. Really good for loosening up the entire back. And then we're going to switch and do them forward. And then relax. Let's go ahead, step those feet a little wider apart and just hinge from the hips and come into a forward bend. And you can either keep the hands on the floor or you can hold the elbows together or rest the legs on the knees, whatever feels better for you. And we're just going to walk those hands over to the left side. And back to center. And over to that right side. And back to center. And let's slowly roll on up. Walk those feet together. And we're going to start with the right hand against the wall or even on a chair or the couch. And then just lift that left foot into the left hand. And we're going to spend a little time in these stretches today. These are really good for stretching, not just this area, but the entire upper leg and hip. And when you do these, you can change the intensity by pressing the foot into the hand, and that you'll feel kind of presses out that left thigh in this case. And just take some nice deep breaths here. Really work on gently pressing that foot and hand together and releasing on the exhales. Then we're going to release that left foot. We're going to cross it over the right leg and then just bend that right knee down. And you can take your left hand here and just press it against the left leg. And then you'll really feel that stretch all the way through this left hind area. And then slowly come back up. We're going to do that same thing on the other side. So left hand supporting either on a wall or furniture. Lift that right foot up into the right hand. Same thing on this side, just gently press that foot and hand together, opening up the front of the leg. And then release that right leg. Stretch or put that left or right leg over the left leg. Slowly bend and just press down with that right hand against the right leg. And come back up. And let's come back into a mountain pose. Take another nice deep breath up. And on the exhale, come back down into a forward bend. And let's just hang out here for a minute. If you want to hold on to the elbows and slowly just rock from side to side, you can do that. And then bring the hands down to the floor and lower all the way down onto the knees. And just turn to the side. Let's go ahead and sit back on those heels, extending the right arms forward, relaxing into a child's pose. We're just gonna come up onto the elbows, and all I want you to do here is just press that butt back a little bit. You don't have to go real far with this, but this is really good to target some of the deeper muscles in the glutes and in the hips. And then slowly come back up. And let's go ahead and push up into downward dog. Nice deep breaths here, pressing the weight of the body away from the hands, down through those legs. And you can go ahead and take turns pedaling each foot. Gives a really nice extra stretch for the back of the legs. And then slowly come down to the knees. Sit back on the heels. Let's come into a child's pose once again. See if you can just stretch a little bit deeper this time. And then very slowly start to walk yourself back up. And we're going to come all the way down onto the back. Excuse me. We're just going to lay here for a minute, and all I want you to do is just alternate pressing the palms of your hands against each thigh. And when you do this, I want you to feel, even if it's just a little micro stretch in the hips area, this really helps to loosen it all the way up into the lower back. Couple more times on each side. And let's go ahead and bend those knees, gently hug them into the chest, and just try to keep the shoulders dropped down when you do this. Nice deep breaths. If you want to work with your breath here, then you can just take and just try to press the knees into the chest a little bit more on each exhale. And slowly release those legs down. Extend that left leg out. Bend just the right knee into the chest, squeezing it gently up towards the body. And when you're doing these with one knee, with the other leg, you want to just be actively stretching it out as well. And try to keep those shoulders relaxed towards the ground. And we're just going to take that left hand to the outside of that right knee, gently press that leg over the body to the left, extend that right arm out. And just take some nice deep breaths here, really stretching out that whole lower back and glute area. And then slowly come back to center. Extend that right leg back out. Bend that left knee in, so gently squeeze that left knee into the chest, extending out through that right leg. We're going to take that right hand to the outside of that left knee and gently bring it across the body to the right side, keeping that left arm pressed into the floor. Slowly come back to center. Extend that left leg out. And let's bend both knees and hug them into the chest one more time. Nice deep breaths, and I want you just to gently roll from side to side. And then come back to center. Slowly drop the feet to the floor. Let's walk those feet together. Let the knees drop open. And if you want, with your hands, you can just actively kind of pedal the heel of your hand right under that hip, right at the top of the thigh. And it's going to kind of do the same micro stretch that we were doing before. It just helps to really loosen up some of the connective tissue around the hips and the lower back. And I want you just to focus on letting the weight of the legs fall towards the floor. Now, if you have a lot of flexibility, especially in the front of the hips and the hip flexors, you might be able to get your knees flat on the floor, and that's great. If you have more restriction in here, your knees might be up here, and there is no wrong way to do it, okay? It's whatever your body is capable of doing, and you don't need to push it just to get a little bit deeper stretch. It'll naturally come and it'll naturally start to release as we go along. Let's just move those hands up to the belly. Just take some nice deep breaths here. then very slowly, let's extend those legs out. Let the arms fall to each side. And just let the entire weight of the body relax into the floor. Let the top of your body feel nice and light and open. And let the back of the body completely feel grounded. Just try to tune in to your own pattern of breath. Don't try to slow it down. Just flow with it. We're going to take another nice deep breath here. On the exhale, just begin to move the fingers, the toes, and then slowly bend the knees and roll yourself back up. And we're going to come back into a simple cross-legged pose. We're just going to hang out here for a couple minutes. I want you to just use this time to focus your intent on continuing relaxation and mindfulness and throughout your whole day. Just keep those sitting bones pressed into the floor. Shoulders relaxed back, keep the eyes closed. Let's take a nice deep breath in. Bring the arms overhead. Reach up through those hands. And exhale, release. One more time. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, release. And go ahead, let those hands rest on the knees again. And let's do one more nice stretch for that spine. So just take that left hand to the right knee, reach behind again with the right hand. Nice deep breaths, breathing all the way through that spine into the lower back and hip. Slowly come back to center. Let's take that right hand to the left knee, left hand behind. Nice deep stretch with those shoulders relaxed. And then slowly come back to center. Take another couple of nice deep breaths here. And then let's just bring the hands to the chest. And just take a moment to feel the warmth of the hands against the chest, against the heart. Thank yourself for doing something positive for yourself today. And have a great weekend. Namaste.